let's okay. We are recording. Hello, and welcome, ladies. This is Friendship Mixers September 2022 meeting. We like to start before we have you introduce yourselves, those of you that want to. We like to start with just a little bit about our organization because we know new people come all the time, mainly from Meetup. So I am going to share my screen and just give a little bit about us. Let me give you the rundown for tonight before I do that. So I'm going to share a little bit about us. Then I'm going to do some announcements, which are basically what we have coming up for the group. We are going to be talking about friendships at work tonight. So I have a little poll that we're going to take. Then we'll hear from you guys. We'll hear where you're located, what kind of work you do, and you can expound a little bit on your poll answers at that time because we'll have taken the poll already. All right, we also have just a little video. I think it's about 4 minutes, and it is Shasta Nelson, who has written the book on friendships in the workplace. We'll see a little clip of her talking about her book. I will also show you a little bit about the book. And then we usually like to have a time of our breakouts where you get to meet another lady here one-on-one. We usually have about 5 minutes where you can talk to one of the other ladies here in the group. And then we'll close out because we only have an hour. We like for these to be short and sweet. We know everybody's, oh, someone else is in the waiting room. I'm sorry. I left her in there. We know that everybody's time is important and we all have so much to do and we have to go to work tomorrow. So an hour is good. All right, so here is a little bit about our organization. I hope you can't hear my fan because it's so loud to me, but so hot. All right, so Friendship Mixers is our name. We are actually a women's organization. We are not a meetup. We are only on Meetup for a short time, and actually I'm getting ready to close out 3 of our meetups. That will allow me to make it that allows us to open up in other areas and introduce ourselves to the ladies there. So if we have been in your area for a little while, we may be leaving Meetup, but you can still stay with us. You have to become an official member though, and join us on our private platform. This is our logo. We love sunflowers. That's our official flower. We are in the following cities: Washington, D.C., New York City, Charlotte, Baltimore, Northern Virginia, which is the Alexandria, Arlington area, but we're also down in Fredericksburg, Virginia, near Richmond, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Boston, Raleigh, Durham, and Chicago. And we'll be coming to a few other cities soon, which is why we had to close the meetup where you are and open them up in these other places. We are a very multicultural, diverse group of ladies. Here are some photos. This is from our Boston chapter. This is from Fredericksburg chapter, Virginia. Silver Spring, only one lady. And we do all kinds of events, brunches, wineries, happy hours, movie nights. I think I put in a picture of a movie night that we just recently went to, and we will be going to the movies to see Woman King, which starts this Friday. I'm so excited. That was our DC chapter that I just shown. This is actually some of us on our trip to Martha's Vineyard, where we rent a house together. Yes, Martha's Vineyard. We're going again. This is our Fredericksburg chapter. We had brunch at a wonderful place called Forks and Biscuits. Oh, I can't wait to go back there. We go to picnics. This was actually a cookout of my church, and this guy just jumped in it. And then recently we were at National Harbor. It was only 3 of us. This was the movie night. Oh, yes. I forgot what we saw, but we're going to see Woman King. And this is our Atlanta chapter that just met on Saturday or Sunday, just this weekend. I'll have Joy tell us a little bit about that when we get to introductions. So I mentioned Martha's Vineyard, and yes, we are going again next year. So here's the information about 2023. If you are interested in going with us, please let me know ASAP. We are also going to South Africa in October of next year. This is the cost. The deposit is due now. You won't have to pay the balance until next summer. So plenty of time. You can go to my travel site, which is girlfriendstravel.org, for more information on that. So we also have tribes. Now, some of you might be from one of our tribes because we have our natural hair care tribe on Meetup, which I'm about to take down. But a tribe is just another smaller group inside of our larger women's organization. So here's a few of the ones that we have. Fitness Chicks, Moms United, Divorce Care. We are well into our divorce care cycle. In fact, we're on lesson 5, but you can still join us if you are divorced or going through a divorce, or separated, going through a separation. Contact me about that. We also have a single ladies club, a wives club. We have Bible study every now and then. Our wine lovers club kicked off last year, but we haven't done much this year. So we need someone who loves wine to actually lead that for us. Our book lovers club is meeting this month, but we're actually doing The Woman Code by Sophia A. Nelson. So it's not fiction, it's actually nonfiction this time. And then our Overcoming Health Challenges tribe, which is for women that have any kind of health issues, any kind of medical issue, that just wants to get together and chat about it, talk about it, vent, cry, whatever you want to do. We also need someone to head that up. We have merchandise, or swag, as some like to call it. T-shirts, mugs, all kinds of stuff with our logo on it. And you can become an official member at friendshipmixers.com. So if we're leaving your actual area as far as meetup.com, you can still stick with us. Join us on our private platform where we can all chat together and see who's in which location and post events there at friendshipmixers.com. Join us today. All right, so that is a little bit about us. Okay, so what did I say we were going to do next? I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of our upcoming events, and then we'll take the poll. So let's go to our private platform for just a second. I will share my screen again. I guess I'll be sharing my screen a couple of times. All right, so this is our private platform for members only. And we have, of course, this is the first thing on there, this particular meeting. We work out together at noon on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, just not Friday or the weekend. So it's canceled for tomorrow. Oh no, it was canceled for the 6th, but that means they're also having it tomorrow and Wednesday. And we had it today. I lead it on Mondays. So if you want to check us out, it's usually low impact, standing only. We don't want to do nothing on the floor. Low impact cardio aerobic movement, just working on our hearts, working on our fitness goals. All right, so we are going to the movie on Friday. This is for the people in the DMV. If you're in the Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia area, we are going. Now, I think the other chapters should go too, but that's on the chapter leader. On Saturday mornings, we walk to the Woodrow Wilson Bridge, and we have our book club. Here it is on next Monday. We'll be meeting for Woman Code, just for an hour to talk about that. Some great tips in that. We are also having a Living Your Best Life #business goals for anyone who is interested in entrepreneurship. If you have your own business already, or if you're thinking about starting your own business, or if you're just thinking about doing something different than you're doing right now. We're really going to be talking about creating the life that you want. If you're not happy with your current life, change it. So I have some guest speakers coming, some ladies who actually run their own businesses, how they got started, they're going to share with us. And then a few of us are going to see Priscilla Shire. She's going to be in the Baltimore area on Saturday, the 24th. We also go to see Joyce Meyer, and I know she was in Atlanta, and we're going to see her in Hershey, Pennsylvania, but that's not until November. So when you're on our private platform, you can see everything. I haven't always posted everything on the meetups, but we always have a lot going on, just so you know. A few ladies are also going to a rodeo. Oh, and the whales. So we should all have a whale, especially those of us who are a little bit older. I saw this on Facebook and I just decided to post it to the group. It's called The Elements of a Will, and it'll be a female attorney who will be talking about what you should have in your will. 5 different elements. It's free, it's open to the public. If you click on the link, you'll see how to register for that. Okay, so that's just a few things that we have coming up. Now we're going to take the poll. So this, our topic for today, and we always have a friendship topic, it's on friendships in the workplace. So here is the poll. You will have a few minutes to answer these questions. They're just yes or no questions. I don't think polls show up in the recording, so I'll have to read the questions for those of you that are watching this later. Number 1, do you have a friend that you chat with or eat lunch with at work? So do you have somebody at work that you actually consider a friend? Question number 2, if you do have a work friend, do you also spend time together outside of work? Meaning, do you get together, for happy hour or something on the weekend? Have you been to her house? Anything outside of work with that person? Number 2 is, are you a part of any groups at work? I work for a university and we have a lot of affinity groups. We have associations and different clubs. We have a book club at work. So are you a part of anything at your job? Oh, it's not letting me scroll down. I know I have 2 other questions. The question 4, I think, is if you are a part of an affinity group at work or any kind of group or club at work, have you done anything outside of work with them? Happy hour or something outside of your actual place of business? And then the last question, I don't remember what are there 5 questions or 4 questions? Joy, Carla, are you talking? Carla, take yourself off of mute and tell me if there's a 5th question.
It's all 3. I made it click.
Okay,
quick.
So maybe I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't add the other 2 questions. That's
I only saw 3 too.
okay.
3. Okay, so it was just 3.
2 more questions, but I guess I didn't save it. I added them without saving it, and I don't even remember now what the last one is. It'll come to me later. All right, so I am going to end the poll now. I think all of you have taken it, right? Has everybody answered the questions? All right, end poll. Okay, so now we can see the results. Oh, so some of you do not have a friend at work. 75% of you said no to that. Only 25 of you here today, right now, taking the poll, have friends at work. If you have a friend at work, do you spend time together outside of work? And so that was no to, but yes, for those of you that have a friend, it looks like you probably do also spend time together outside of work. Are you a part of any groups at work? And this is 50-50. Half of you said yes, and half of you said no. Great. All right. As we do our introductions, we're going to go around and have you let us know who you are, where you're from, what kind of work you do, and you can also tell us about your answers to this poll. Do you have friends at work? Are you a part of any groups at work? So we want to know what kind of work you do and then answer those questions for us. And I will start. Again, I'm Kiki Strickland, the founder of Friendship Mixers. I started it during the pandemic because we were working remotely. So I wasn't getting enough interaction with ladies, and I needed to feel like I was connected in. So that's why this group exists. However, at my job, I work at a university in the Baltimore area in fundraising. And the department that I'm in, actually, the African American and others, minorities in our department actually got together and created a WebEx team, because we use WebEx where we are. We created our own WebEx team for just us called the Staff of Color, because we didn't feel like we were getting enough communication about COVID, and we wanted to know, what's happening with you? How are you guys doing in your department? What's going on? So we actually started communicating and then getting together once we were back on campus. So that's kind of like a club that we have with each other, and we like feeling more connected in that way. I'm also a part of the Black Faculty and Staff Association there. I'm the vice president. So we're trying to have activities, fun things to do, and to make sure mainly that the brand new staff that come in feel welcomed, feel like they have friends, people that they can go to, mentors. So I'll be talking about that more when I get into Shasta Nelson's book too, but that's me. Joy, would you like to introduce yourself since you are our Atlanta chapter director?
Sure. Hi, Kiki. Hello, everyone. My name is Joy Sanders. I live in the Metro Atlanta area. I live in a town called Snellville. And for work, I actually run a school. I'm sorry, I'm behind a mask right now, so I'm trying to speak up a little bit. Yeah, I'm.
Speak up a little bit more. That would help us hear you.
I'll speak up a little bit more. I am behind a mask right now because I'm still at work right now. Yes, we had a meeting. Our group met last Friday at Cherokee Rose Barbecue in Stone Mountain. I did see some of the ladies who were there from last weekend. We had a great time. We've also done a brunch. And then I've already planned for us to do some pottery together. We're going to do some hikes in the fall. Maybe we'll do a pumpkin patch or corn maze or something like that coming up as well. And I am a tea drinker, so I'll definitely put on a couple of holiday style teas. But it's nice to meet everyone.
Very nice. Love those events. All right. The Atlanta chapter is happening. All right. Let's see. Tawana, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Tawana, and I'm in the Oxon Hill area, not too far from the MGM. Beautiful area over there. And I am an educator, and I have been part of Friendship Mixers for a while. And happy to say good evening to everyone and fellowship with you all.
And do you have friends at work?
I can't say that I have friends at work yet. It's actually a very diverse group of ages. So I guess I haven't found that yet since I'm fairly new. So I just pretty much focus on my job, and that's it.
Got it. Okay.
But I'm friendly. I feel like I'm friendly with, and certain people are friendly to me. So maybe
Great.
they always speak to me, and whatnot.
Okay, good to hear. All right, so we're gonna go over to Beth. Hey, Beth.
Hello, took me a minute to unmute myself. I'm Beth. I live in Boston. I'm retired but I used to teach, and so I based my answer on that. I taught history and cultural studies and gender and things like that, and I had a good friend in our department. We actually knew each other from grad school, and she was the one who told me about the job. And and we used to socialize together outside of work a lot. And one day she brought in her little girl to the department, who very proudly announced to the entire faculty, "Beth can reach her nose with her tongue."
Oh,
You go,
that's
Beth.
funny. Goodness. But she was your friend before you came in.
Well, we were kind of acquaintances, and we really became friends at the department. I didn't make any new social friends, although I got along well with the other faculty.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right. Does anyone else want to introduce themselves? And remember, we are recording. So if you do not want to be on the recording, then don't. But if you're okay with that, then raise your hand. All right, Yvette.
Hi, my name is Yvette. I am originally from New York. I just recently relocated to Delaware. So I'm just trying to find my niche in somewhere because seems to be nothing or groups in Delaware, but I don't know, still under investigation. However, I am a social worker, and I also work in a school as a school social worker. Prior to that, my job in New York, I was a dean in a school, but now I'm working full-time as a school social worker and like a therapist part-time. So in between time, I like to socialize and meet new people and try new things. So I've only been at this job as long as school has started this school year. So do I have any friends? No, there's someone I talk to and we may text outside of work, but I guess that's how far the relationship has progressed. In my previous job, there was one or two people that I may have hung out with outside of work, but I still kind of felt like it was a work connection. So that's just me.
Great. Welcome, welcome. Great to have you. Anyone else? Okay. I see
Hi.
you. Okay. Go ahead.
So my name is Akiko. I live in Atlanta. I just met Joy on Friday because I went to dinner, which was nice. I liked everybody. I actually work for myself now, so I don't have work friends. And in my previous career path, I was in nonprofit. So I've never worked in like a real company or business kind of situation. And so to be honest, I was kind of curious to see what everybody else kind of had to say about their work experiences, because I feel like the ones I've had have been kind of different. Because at least in my mind, I was in international relief and development. And in my mind, like we had to work together so much, you know, it felt very much like a team effort, no matter what department you were in. So we were all very friendly with each other and always went out and had lunch and, you know, did this and that and the other. But now that I'm kind of working for myself and then sort of considering career pathing going forward, I really wanted to hear kind of what people had to say about their experiences, because I literally don't know how it works outside of the environment that I've known.
Got it. Okay. Great. Great. Okay. Anyone else want to introduce themselves?
I'd like to go.
Is that a guy? It does say Clay Martin.
Yes, I'd like to go.
I'm sorry, Clay. This is actually only for women. So we're gonna have to have you leave us. Sorry about that. Friendship Mixers is for women.
Well,
only.
I think the problem with that is I identify as a woman.
Okay. I removed him. Sorry, I understand that men want friends too, but this group is just for ladies. Is someone talking?
Can I just ask, Kiki? I don't, and he was saying he identified as a female. So how does the group
Oh,
handle
oh my
that?
gosh. Okay, I didn't hear that. He was saying, so yes, if he identifies as a female, we might allow him to join us. I'll have to talk with the other leaders about that and see how we want to handle that. Good point. Okay. All
Can
right.
I s-
Anybody else before we move
can I
on to?
about the person? I think if that person sincerely identified as a woman, the person would have a woman's name, not a man.
That's a good point. Yes. Well,
But
that's a topic for another day.
yeah,
Thank you. All right. Anyone else want to introduce themselves before we move on? Oh, Carla, go ahead.
Hi, hello
Hi, Carla, workout
everybody.
buddy.
Hey Kiki, yeah, we did a workout today. It was great too, by the way. So I'm Carla. I'm in Philadelphia. I just moved here in December of last year, and I joined, I guess, in the summer, Friendship Mixers, and it's been good. I've met a couple of nice people, and I've enjoyed myself. And the groups are great. So, do I have friends at work? Yes. I actually have a coworker that went to high school with me. So we've been friends for a really long time. So that's kind of who we kind of get together from time to time. Um, and then also I'm like a member of some associations affiliated with my work. And I've made some decent connections. I guess I could call them friends. That's, you know, friendship means something different for a lot of people. So, I kind of try and understand what their definition of friendship is to see if it matches with mine. Because generally, if it does, we're pretty compatible. So some people, I don't know if I would say friends, but definitely good associates.
Good point. And she does cover that in the book. What is a friend? And I do think that even for myself, I consider some of my coworkers and the ladies in the group that I go to lunch with at least every 2 months or so, I consider us friends. However, I've never done anything with them outside of work. And I think if you're a real friend, you are doing other things. It's not just limited to work. So yeah, I guess we're not really friends, or we would be at each other's homes sometimes, or at least having brunch outside of work. Good point. Definition of friends have to match. All right, anybody else? Last call. Teresa,
I'll go.
okay.
Hi,
Hey,
everybody.
hey, Teresa.
Hey there. I'm Teresa. I live in Georgia. I work for the University of California at Santa Cruz. And as far as friends, I have people I'm friendly with at work. I'm like Carla, use that term I take it to heart. And we all work remote. We've never been in offices together since I've been there. So we don't do things outside of work besides go to a retreat every now and then. And I am a part of some work groups. We have these consultants that do the DEI work with us, and they have affinity spaces. And we also have Zoom chat channel. We call it the Black Caucus channel. So I'm a member, part of that group, and it's for, us as Black people who, when someone has an issue, we go to that channel. So, yeah, so.
Great. I was wondering what you were going to say, because I know you're fully remote. So yeah, that is a different,
It's a
yep.
totally different experience. You can't it's hard to build that friendship and the relationship if they're always in a box, so. Mhm.
Right. All right. Thank you all for sharing, introducing yourselves. Let me show you a little bit about the book that Shasta Nelson has written, and it is called The Business of Friendships. Let me share my screen yet again. A lot of sharing this time. Okay, so, and you can find it on Amazon.com. I actually ordered it because I will be talking with another group of ladies about this topic. So I have to read the book. I have not read it yet. I just started reading it. And here is the Amazon.com look inside. You can click on any book there and it'll show you the first couple of chapters, or at least the table of contents. It's called The Business of Friendship, Making the Most of Our Relationships Where We Spend the Most of Our Time. Because it's true, even with remote work and even with teleworking, because I telework 2 days a week, so I'm only there in the office 3 days a week. It still is where I spend most of my time. Only 2 days on the weekend that we have of our own. I would like to change that. We should just have 4-day work weeks. But here she covers a lot. Let me show you the table. Okay, first of all, it was written in 2020, so not that old. And the table of contents. So she has broken it up into a couple of parts. Part 1 is why relationships matter at work. And she talks about how we benefit from friendships at work, how our companies benefit from us having friendships at work. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that because I did read a little bit of part 1. Part 2 was all about what makes friendships actually work. And as you were saying, Carla, what is a friendship? Everybody has to be on the same page. She talks about the 3 relationship requirements. And actually on the little video clip that I'm going to show you tonight, she does mention that it's a triangle, the 3 things that she says must be present in order for a friendship to actually work. And we have talked about this in the past at other mixers, especially last year. How friendships are developed, how to develop relationships at work that are positive, because some people might say, oh, there's a lot of drama at my job. I don't know if I want. How to develop relationships at work that are consistent, vulnerable. Part 3 is how to make relationships work better for us. And she talks about having goals for your friendships, healthy goals, expectations, reducing the impact of toxic coworkers. There's just a lot of good stuff. I think that Shasta is the friendship guru, and I like a lot of her material. So I'm going to show you the little video clip of hers about friendships at work. And then I'll hear any comments, questions you have about it, opinions. Then we'll have our one-on-one time, because it's great to just connect one-on-one with somebody here and get to know them better, because this group is all about friendships, making new friendships, opportunities to have, a connection, make a connection here. So let's watch the video. It's only, 4 minutes. And then we'll talk about that. And again, we'll be done by 8 o'clock. And this one is just a YouTube video called, Is It Appropriate to Have a Best Friend at Work?
When we say yes to having a best friend at work, that is the one that correlates to the best employees. That's what the data shows, as uncomfortable as it is for so many of us. We know that when we feel like we have a best friend, that makes the biggest difference. And when we look at what does it mean to be 7 times more engaged, it means we're showing up with more eagerness and more enthusiasm on Monday morning. It means that we're more comfortable brainstorming. We're calling in sick less often. We have fewer accidents in the workplace. We are better customer service. We end up, you just go down the list. We feel like we can rely on our leader more. We feel more loyalty to the company. It's an amazingly long list. And so many other companies have studied this and looked at it and correlated it to all kinds of things. But we're still not entirely sure we're okay with, do I really need to have a best friend? Let me offer you this. What if best isn't speaking to the quantity, as in you can only have one best friend and they need to work with you? But what if best was referring to the quality of a relationship, meaning the healthiest it can be, the best it can be, the most meaningful, successful, healthy relationship I can foster with this person? What if best means that you can have several best relationships? You can have several wonderful, great, high quality, meaningful relationships. What if best isn't something that's a competition with just one winner, but best rather speaks to the category, the health of those relationships? I have a lot of best friends, and they're my friends that I know I can rely on for anything, and each of them feed me in a different way. And I have my best friends who are another author we can talk about the off with, and that's different than another best friend who is right in my field and loves social health and wants to talk about all the things that are social health related, which is different than the best friend who is also an entrepreneur but may not have anything to do with writing books and or social health. And we meet each other's needs in different ways, and no one of them does everything. I have not found my twin, and I'm not even sure that necessarily would mean that we would be best friends. But all of these friends feed me in different ways, different and in meaningful ways, just like my friends who have nothing to do with my work life. But how meaningful it is to have best friends who understand elements of my work, where we can brainstorm together, where they understand what it's like to be an entrepreneur or an author, or why I'm so passionate about loneliness and social health. And so all of those friends feed me in my business life and my career and my identity and my growth in different ways. And I want them to be as healthy as they can, where we can be as vulnerable with each other, where we can be get all the rewards and the positivity and the empathy and the cheerleading from each other that we can possibly get, where we can rely on each other, know that they're there for each other, and really be of service to each other. Best means the relationships that are practicing the 3 requirements of relationships: positivity, feeling good; consistency, feeling safe and reliable; and vulnerability, which is feeling seen, feeling like we know each other. And so yes, you do want a best friend at work. You want several best friends at work. And if you're somebody who just so resists that idea, when we actually list out the things that it is, do you want somebody that you can rely on? Do you want somebody who has your back? Do you want somebody who sees you? Do you want somebody who knows the contribution you're making? Do you want somebody who cheerleads for you? Do you want somebody that you can admit you don't know? Do you want somebody that you can ask for help? Do you want somebody who empathizes with you? Do you want somebody who celebrates your wins with you? Do you want somebody who understands the stress and supports you in that, who offers to help? Yes, 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 yes. We might be uncomfortable with the term best friend, but I invite you not to let that make you uncomfortable with what the relationship can be, with what it can do for you, and how much of all the qualities you want it to have. May our relationships at work, in our personal life, all be the best that they can be, where a few of them move up that triangle with the highest levels of positivity, consistency, and vulnerability, where we can say that we have several friends who are at the top of the triangle, who practice the highest levels of these things. Those are our best friends. I want that for you, where you spend most of your life at work.
Okay, so any comments on that? Anybody have anything they want to share based on what she said?
I think just growing up and just thinking about best friend and the concept of best friend, it's like you're thinking of one person. So I think it gave me a way to think, a different perspective of thinking about like having a best friend in this area and so that, and it kind of made me like run through my different friends and like, oh, okay. So, because sometimes when you're around friends, it's kind of like you feel close to this one in one way and you feel close to this one. So having like to define like a different person for a best friend instead of just one entity that you expect to be like everything for you.
Yeah, I'm realizing that I need to have a best friend at church, because now that we're back in person and I'm going to some of the singles events at my church, and it just, you wherever you are and whatever you're going to, it's just great to have somebody already there, that you could hang out while you're there. We had an event at my church this weekend and it was a great event, but then afterwards, as people were just milling around chatting, I started to feel so alone. I felt like I didn't know, who to talk to. I didn't have any friends there that I could just hang out with afterwards. So then I realized, oh, okay, I need to develop more friendships right here in the church, since I do so much there. So yeah, different places that you go. Oh, that was the last question. Number 5 was, have you ever left an event at work or skipped an event that your job was having because you didn't know anybody there or you didn't have someone to hang out with there? Because I've done that. I've not gone to something unless I knew people were gonna also go. Anybody
I
else?
think for me,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. For me, I'm so used to being by myself because I grew up alone. Well, my next oldest sibling was, I think, 5 years older than me. But I grew up and doing a lot of things alone, so I'm used to being alone. So for me to really reach out and be vulnerable to someone, I can come across as being a little standoffish. And I think it's like a mechanism to protect myself, but I have great friends, but it took a long time to build those friendships for me. Mm-hmm. So it takes time.
Okay. I was just gonna say, I used to go to every single function, whether it be like, celebrating somebody's farewell or whatever it was. And I think I just got like really drained. And then I saw like how some people, they were really good friends outside and they were really good at just, doing their job because they didn't want that to get in the way. And it took me a couple of years to realize, but once I hung out with them, like, we would be at, somehow kids bring everybody together. So it'd be like at one of the children's functions and we would be there and be like, oh, I did not know. And you realize, and they say, yeah, we do that because, we don't want to mess up, our friendship or what have you. And we try really, really hard. So like recently, I've been invited to things. It's just that there are things that probably is not me. Like I'm not like a real big going to happy hour like every week. And I'm always like, well, how do you all do that and wake up in the morning? I mean, yeah, really drink. I mean, what's going on? Because
But maybe they don't drink. Happy hour
I
doesn't
don't,
mean
I know,
you
I know, I
have to
don't know.
drink.
And they're
You
always
can
giving me
eat.
the eye. And I say, well, maybe I could go to one and just drink ginger ale or what have you. But I just want to know what goes on so that I didn't
Go
know
to
what,
see, because when I say happy hour, I usually mean getting the appetizers, and
yeah.
usually people are there from work, have come and they're just
Hmm.
chatting, just, talking, not
Yeah.
drinking.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was like, well, that's why I say I'm not like a happy drinker, like outside like that. I don't know how we can do that. I just, I
It
don't
can
know.
be done. There's other drinks that you can drink. You don't have to drink alcohol. But I think
Exactly.
like happy hour or just doing something outside of work allows you
Yeah.
to connect and see people in a different space. Because sometimes you see somebody working and you're kind of have like this perspective of them. And then when you see them outside of work, you're like, oh, okay.
I know. And I think I'm trying to protect that. Like, I just want to be like this. But I don't know.
But
I
you should
guess I
definitely go. Just try and
put my
see
baby
how it
toe
is.
in.
Because yeah, if they're heavy drinkers and cursing and doing kind of
Like,
stuff you
wait a
don't
minute.
like, you can
Yeah.
always say, "Well, good night, everybody," and make your way out,
My one
and you don't
finger.
have to go again.
Yeah. 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 Thanks,
But
ladies.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because we actually had something at Guinness, and I don't like beer. And I was thinking, why are we having it here? I was just thinking a different way. It's a wonderful spot. It's a brand new brewery,
Hmm.
and they gave us a tour so we could see how beer is made. And even though I'm not a beer drinker, they had a taco food truck and this big outdoor patio with live music. It was wonderful. So now that's my favorite place. And if I had just judged it as a brewery and not gone, I would have never known that and missed out. So yeah,
Yeah.
give things a chance before you decide. That's my advice. Yeah. All right. Any other comment before we do our one-on-ones? We're going to do that for about 5 minutes. All right, let's do the one-on-ones. So you can talk to somebody, whoever you ought to, it'll be a random assignment for about 5 minutes, and then we'll come back together and I'll give the announcements and we'll close. All right, so you'll see your breakout room right on the side. And if nobody is in your room, because there's a couple of people who haven't said anything, if they're not there, then just come back on out to the main room. All right, you should see your room on the side. All right. Okay. Let's see. Oh, nobody's come back yet but me. Oops. Oh my gosh. Oh, I hope I didn't. I think I totally, did I end meeting? No, I didn't end the meeting. Oh, they have 30 seconds to come back. Okay, let's see. All right. The breakout rooms will close in 25 seconds. Hey, Yvette.
Oh, hi. Did I
All
come back?
right, usually I give you more of a warning, like 1
Oh.
minute left, 2 minutes left.
Okay.
Time was going by so fast. Sorry that I just closed the breakout rooms. We're going to close out now. I only have, let's see, do I have any announcements? I already mentioned all of the different activities that we have going on for the month, because we started with that. And this has been recorded. So if you missed that, you can go back and listen to it. The only announcements that I have are our next monthly mixer where everybody can participate will be October 17th. I'm actually going to be in Italy for 10 days. So we have these on the first Monday of the month, unless there's a holiday like there was this month. But because I'll be gone the first 10 days of the month, I think I come back on the 10th, which is a Monday. We won't have this meeting again until the 17th, 7 to 8, just like tonight. And then for November, it will be the first Monday, which is November 7th. And for December, can you believe this is almost the end of the year? We only have October, November, and December, and those fly by. So for December, we will meet on December 5th, which is the first Monday of the month. And we usually have a holiday mixer with some special stuff. So come back for that. Again, if you like our group and you want to become an official member so you can participate in the other stuff, then go to friendshipmixers.com and sign up there. All right. Any last, one of the last things I wanted to share with you about the book is she talks a lot about loneliness. And so it's very well documented. I guess a lot of stats out there about how lonely people are. Everybody's lonely, married people, single people, women, men. So friendships are a way to help you with loneliness. And she does talk about friendship as wellness. So I'm going to actually do one on what she goes into about that, how your health is better when you have good friendships, and why. Because I find that fascinating. I never really thought about how having good people around you, good friendships, actually does something for your body. Like when you're stressed, your body's gonna be deteriorating, but when you're happy and having a good time with your friends, then things are going better for the whole body and mind. So we'll talk about that, and we'll also talk one of those months, I think for November, we'll talk about friendships in your family. So I know I have 3 older sisters, and 2 of them are really close to each other. They're each other's best friend. And then some of you might have cousins that you're really close to. So we'll talk about friendships and family. All right. Anybody have any parting thoughts before we close out? Are you working on your friendships?
Do you ever have any events in Delaware? Just wondering, or any groups?
How close are you to Maryland? Because my ex-fiance lives in Aberdeen, and that was so close to Delaware that I think we actually went to dinner in Delaware once. It was only like 30 minutes away.
I think I live like 5 miles from Elkton, Maryland. I do live close to the border of Maryland, but I don't know like how to.
So it's possible that we could do something up that way, like Hartford County, Maryland, Susquehanna River. We went kayaking on the Susquehanna, which I think is really close to Delaware.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, stay tuned for that, Yvette.
Okay.
Anybody else? We have 1 minute. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for coming. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I will see some of you at some of our other events. All right. Talk to
Thank you.
soon. Thanks for coming. Good night.